important topic that can't wait any longer for us to address. As advocates for our city's public school students and stewards of a very finite taxpayer resources, we are resolved to stand up against vouchers. When the governor and the state lawmakers ignore our concerns, the only remaining branch is the judicial branch. Since this voucher law passed last year, our board has been working with Metro and MNPS leadership to identify strategies that would invalidate what was clearly an unconstitutional and immoral law that seeks to strip away your tax dollars that should go to public education and direct them towards private schools. We are here after months of meticulous research and review by our legal department to make the most compelling and thorough argument to the judiciary for why this law is unconstitutional. We're grateful for Mayor Cooper and Metro Department of Law leadership for this litigation. Now I'll ask our Interim Director of Schools, Dr. Adrian Battle, to introduce our distinguished guests. Dr. Battle?
Thank you, Ms. Shepard. Thank you to the board members, and thank you to Mayor Cooper and Director Cooper for joining us today for this unprecedented meeting. We're here to discuss a law that was passed under very questionable circumstances in the final days of the legislative session last year. It is clear and obvious that vouchers are not a good solution to challenges in public education. It definitely caught my eye when certain counties had to be excluded before lawmakers would vote to approve the legislation. Well, if it's not good for your district, it certainly isn't good for ours. Taking money and students out of public schools is a terrible thing to do to a community. We need investment in public education, not disinvestment. We need a firm commitment to our schools and an unwavering belief in what they can do for our children. Every day, our nearly 11,000 employees come to work eager to make a difference in the lives of the children of Nashville, sometimes under challenging circumstances, and we have a great deal to be proud of as a result of their commitment. For example, you may not know that Nashville's number of reward schools increased from 22 to 37 last year. That means we had 37 of the highest performing schools statewide. That's more than any other district in the state of Tennessee. I think most of us can agree that this legislation was morally flawed, but we are here to discuss how it was legally flawed and how it violates the Tennessee Constitution. I hope that after you hear the presentation from Mayor John Cooper and Metro Law Director Bob Cooper, you will all join me in supporting this important legal effort to preserve and protect Metro Nashville. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Nashville's Chief Education Advocate, Mayor John Cooper.
Thank you. Thank you, Interim Director and school board members. It's an honor to be here. I believe Council Members Withers and Rosenberg are here, and Representative Bo Mitchell. I apologize, I'm a little bit hoarse, and I will be brief, but this is very important. And I'm asking Bob Cooper, I just want to introduce him, our legal director, to walk through our case together with you in the next part of this session. I am excited to have this fine lawyer to represent the county and the school board in this important matter. You and I both have the concern of having a stable financial platform for the funding of our schools. And this case will go to the heart of that. But also I, as the county executive, have the concern of any legislation that targets just one or two counties. Laws should be good enough to apply equally to everybody. And we do have the right to ask a court about this being unfair to us per se. But I'm not going to sound like a lawyer, a hoarse lawyer, but in fact introduce a very fine one to you. And that's our legal director, who I'm pleased is going to be taking charge of this case and going forward. I'm grateful to all of your work on this and our work together in the future months to provide a stable financial platform for the funding of our schools together. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning. Chairwoman Shepherd, Vice Chairwoman Frogue, members of the Metro Nashville Board of Public Education, and Dr. Battle. Thank you for this opportunity to meet with you and brief you on our legal challenge to the state's new voucher program. This board, Dr. Battle, and the excellent staff at MNPS provided us with critical help in preparing a thorough complaint in support of this legal challenge. And I'm pleased to report that the complaint was filed in Davidson County Chancery Court just before this meeting. It's 44 pages long, and it's brought on behalf of 3 plaintiffs: Metro Government, this board, and Shelby County Government. The complaint asserts strong constitutional challenges against the Education Savings Account Pilot Program Act passed last year by the General Assembly. The complaint describes how this new voucher law will take hundreds of millions of dollars from Metro Nashville's public schools and will impose burdensome additional costs on the school system, which is already inadequately funded by the state. The complaint shows in great detail how last year's legislative process allowed legislators to protect their own counties from vouchers while imposing the program's full burden only on Davidson County and Shelby County. The complaint makes 3 claims under our state constitution against the voucher law. First, the law violates the Constitution's home rule provision. This provision mandates that any General Assembly act that is local in form or effect and applicable to a particular county is void unless that act is approved by 2/3 vote of the county's legislative body or a majority of the county's voters. In other words, the Constitution prohibits the state from narrowly drawing legislation that would affect a limited number of local communities without those communities' assent. This bill, the bill that the legislature passed last year, is the very model of a violation of the home rule provision. Second, the law violates the Constitution's equal protection clauses. There is no rational basis for imposing this financial burden of a voucher program only on Davidson and Shelby counties. There are other counties in this state with comparable percentages of struggling schools. And if this is good policy, then vouchers should be available to students in struggling schools across the state. But the legislative record makes clear that the General Assembly's decision to impose vouchers only on Davidson and Shelby counties was based on politics, not policy. Third, the law violates the legislature's constitutional mandate to maintain and support a system of free public schools. The legislature's own Fiscal Review Committee identified significant losses and additional expenses that Nashville schools will suffer under the Voucher Act. Based on conservative assumptions, MNPS could lose up to $16 million in BEP funding in the voucher program's first year. It could lose up to $162 million as this voucher program grows over the next 5 years. Now, the bill says that the state may restore some of that money, and I stress may because it is not an obligation, in the form of grants. But that would only be in the first 3 years of the program, and there would be strings attached to that money. As we know, MNPS is already inadequately funded by the state, and this will only make that problem worse. Based on these claims, the complaint seeks a declaration that the voucher law is unconstitutional, unlawful, and unenforceable. The complaint also asks for an injunction to stop state officials from implementing the law in the upcoming school year. As I mentioned earlier, both Metro government and this board are plaintiffs in the complaint. Now, the legislature tried to block this board from bringing a legal challenge by including language in the statute stating that local school boards do not have legal authority to assert a cause of action against the act. We don't think that the legislature has the authority to stop this board from bringing this challenge in court. But Metro government is also a plaintiff, and there is no language in the statute that prohibits counties, such as Metro or Shelby, from bringing this lawsuit. Now, in conclusion, we will press forward to seek a prompt ruling from the court. We look forward to working closely with MNPS as we prosecute this case. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mayor Cooper and Attorney Cooper, I want to thank you for coming to the board and giving us this thorough presentation. The case you presented is logical and sound and shows how fundamentally flawed this voucher legislation is and the harm that it will cause to students and taxpayers in Davidson County. With that, I'd ask that we have a motion to adopt the following statement. The Metropolitan Nashville Board of Public Education endorses and supports the complaint filed today by Metropolitan Department of Law and Davidson County Chancery Court, captioned Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, Metropolitan Nashville Board of Public Education, and Shelby County Government versus the Tennessee Department of Education, Penny Schwinn and Bill Lee, and urges the Department of Law to take all appropriate measures to seek prompt relief, including an injunction, if needed, to prevent the Educational Savings Account Pilot Program Act from being implemented in Davidson County for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
Can I get a
Second.
Second. This motion has been made and seconded properly. I will open the floor up for discussion if there's any discussion by my colleagues. Seeing no discussion, I would ask for a show of hands for a vote. All in favor of passing this motion, please raise your hand. Any opposed? It passes unanimously, Ms. Bobo. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. And Attorney Cooper and Mayor Cooper has opened the floor for discussion, minimal discussion at that. So if anyone has any questions. Yes, Ms. Berry.
I just want to say thank you to the administration, to Dr. Battle, to Law Director Mr. Cooper, and our mayor for bringing this together. This is an important piece of legislation that will affect our students. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else with any comments? All right. Seeing no further comments, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for being here.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.